For several weeks now, we've tracked the interesting phenomena of Russian tanks equipped with counter-FPV shells, known by many names: the Tsar's Barbecue, Tsar Mangal, assault sheds, Blyatmobiles, and of course, turtle tanks. These vehicles began to appear in April around Krasnohorivka, but since they've spread to numerous other sectors. Most recently, they played a role in the Russian offensive towards Kharkiv. They combine a number of features, including the large characteristic sheet metal shells, electronic warfare systems to jam drone control frequencies to protect against first-person view suicide drones, and they also often feature devices such as mine plows and rollers to enable them to act as breaching vehicles. Since our last video, there have been even more interesting variations on the turtle tank concept, and also a fair amount of imagery showing them being successfully engaged. Which raises the question, has the tide turned on the turtle tanks? On the 8th of May, photos of a Russian T-72B3 being fitted with a counter-FPV shell were posted. The original Telegram post said that the work was being carried out by the 104th Separate Tank Battalion of the 7th Guards Airborne Assault Division. In the photos we can see the assembly of a frame protecting the tank's sides, with slightly angled sheet metal being welded to the frame. Ukraine's Presidential Brigade shared some FPV footage of what may be another turtle tank near Vuhledar. The resolution of the footage is low, but the vehicle appears to have an electronic warfare module on top of its counter-FPV shell. It's unclear if the shell is solid metal or if it's a mesh screen which covers the top part of the vehicle, which has been shrouded with camouflage netting. On the 13th of May, photographs of a pair of tanks fitted with shells were shared, with at least some of the work seemingly being completed in the field with a welder hooked up to a generator. The first vehicle has a visible framework, and the sheet metal used has surface rust. Markings visible on the first tank may suggest that it belongs to the 3rd Motor Rifle Division's 752nd Motor Rifle Regiment. A possible second tank has a less angled shell, and the metal sheets are orientated horizontally. Also on the 13th, the 3rd Ukrainian Assault Brigade claimed that they, along with the 66th Mechanized Brigade and the 77th Air Mobile Brigade, had engaged Russians on the Kharkiv front and struck a turtle tank with FPVs. Footage of a damaged turtle tank which had been recovered may show the same tank which was immobilized during the initial assaults on the Kharkiv front. It shows that the tank's shell has been badly damaged and its left side track is lost. However, its KMT-6 mine plow is still present. The clearest imagery of a knocked out turtle tank which has appeared so far emerged on the 13th of May. 3 images taken by an observation drone show a T-62 which shares numerous construction characteristics with the earlier porcupine turtle seen on the 5th of May. It has similar protective grills made from cages, completely covering the metal sheets of the counter-FPV shell. However, its rear is not enclosed by sheet metal, but a combination of sheets and gratings. The tank doesn't have any visible electronic warfare equipment, but is fitted with what appears to be a BTU-55 dozer blade mounting point, which is no longer present and not visible in the available imagery, although what appears to be a KMT-6 mine plow can be seen on the ground behind the tank. The tank clearly has signs of fire damage along its side and rear, and the front portion of the shell has been blown inwards and warped. The cause of this is unclear, though it may have been an artillery strike, an anti-tank guided missile hit, or even an FPV. Intriguingly, inside the shell appears to be an earlier pre-existing cope gauge shelter, which has been mounted on the turret, but doesn't appear to be part of the outer shell structure. Further examples of tanks equipped with the counter-FPV shells, which both sides increasingly refer to as sheds, have been shared. Drone footage of a Russian T-72B3 equipped with a shed was shared early on the 14th of May, showing the vehicle on fire with smoke billowing from its roof and under attack by FPVs. The footage has reportedly been geolocated to Novovodayano in the Luhansk region. Again, the shell is made up of sheet metal and an additional mesh roof screen. The tank has a broken track, and one shot from the footage appears to show the vehicle surrounded by TM-62 anti-tank mines, suggesting the vehicle entered a minefield. The vehicle does not appear to be fitted with a mine plough or roller. Additional imagery of another T-62 based turtle tank was also shared, date and location unknown, but the now standard construction of a rough internal framework made from box metal and then sheet metal being welded onto the frame. From the photos, it appears it may be fitted with a mine plough. Only one side of the shell has been completed, but there's also a small ladder welded onto the frame at the rear for access onto the engine deck. Intriguingly, we can also see that the frame itself has been welded to the tank's turret with two angled struts, meaning that the tank's turret can't be traversed at all. On the 14th of May, footage of another knocked out turtle tank emerged, showing a burning tank near Andriivka in Donetsk. The tank appears to have been part of an armoured assault, which may have been halted by artillery fire. The tank appears to be a T-62, fitted with a KMT-6 mine plough. The vehicle is on fire with a significant portion of its shell blown off on its right side. The video also shows an FPV striking the rear of the tank. The Ukrainian Ministry of Defense attributed the destruction of the tank to javelins and FPV drones deployed by the 93rd Mechanized Brigade. On the evening of the 14th, the 79th Air Assault Brigade shared video of another Russian attack in Novomykolaiivka in Donetsk. This showed several intriguing vehicles, including a hybrid turtle which had a layer of tyres under some cage armour and a camouflage net. Another brief shot showed a tank with no visible main gun moving across open ground. It seemed to be equipped with a KMT-7 mine roller and a counter-FPV shell, which is open-fronted with no additional protection such as a chain curtain or wire caging. It appears the assault was met with both artillery and FPVs. On the 15th, observation drone footage was shared of a badly damaged burning turtle tank, which was destroyed by the Ukrainian 72nd Brigade during a Russian attack in the Vuhledar sector. The date of the engagement is unconfirmed, but the video shows the vehicle being destroyed in a spectacular explosion, likely due to cook-off of ammunition. Also on the 15th, another image of a converted T-72 in Donetsk emerged. Visible in the photo is a sheet metal counter-FPV shelter equipped with a layer of outer wire caging. A KMT-6 mine plough is fitted, and a chain curtain protects the turret while providing decent visibility for the tank's frontal arc. Additionally, a commercial surveillance camera has been attached to the roof of the shell. An AEK 902 smoke discharger is attached to the top of the shell, and ERA blocks have been attached to the skirt and then enclosed partially by a wire screen. On the 16th of May, Russian military vlogger Large Caliber Trouble shared a series of videos which featured armoured vehicles fitted with counter-FPV shells. The first video showed an armoured assault with 3 vehicles with shells and 1 tank without. The footage from an observation drone is too low of a resolution to make out the configuration of the turtle tanks, but it's clear that the lead vehicle is equipped with a set of mine rollers. The lead tank appears to take a direct hit to its rear, possibly from an FPV drone. The assault column is bracketed by Ukrainian artillery fire, and the lead tank is damaged and forced to turn back, while the second tank moves up and deploys smoke from an AEK 902 launcher to obscure the column. In another video, a tank called the Scorpion is introduced, which is described as being tasked with clearing mines and identifying enemy points. In a video showing the vehicle in action, it's clear that the design is substantially different to previous turtle tanks, with no visible main gun, a fully enclosed front, an overhead sheet metal rear awning, and the vehicle is also equipped with a KMT-7 mine roller. In another post, he described the vehicle as a captured tank with a cut-off turret that used different building materials for the armour. He claims it was hit by 8 anti-tank guns and countless artillery shells. As always with these breakdowns, we have to remember that we don't have the full picture, and that the available imagery represents just a fraction of what is happening on the front line. As mentioned in the previous video, the turtle tanks are just as susceptible, if not more, to conventional means of knocking out tanks: mines, artillery, anti-tank guided missiles. It remains to be seen if a new trend is emerging that suggests that Ukraine is now increasingly capable of successfully countering the Russian assault sheds, or if indeed the turtle tank will adapt again. Thanks for watching yet another video about these turtle tanks. This I think is the fourth I've done now, but I have to admit they are still fascinating, and seeing how they're evolving and performing is worth continuing to document. Don't worry though, this week we'll have another non-turtle tank video out on Sunday, looking at an adapter that turns the GP25 underbarrel grenade launcher into an anti-drone shotgun. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Please do share the videos with friends, and if you'd like to, you can support us via Patreon, where you can get access to various different perks to say thank you for your support, and you can also check out the History of Weapons and War app. Information about both of those is down in the description box below. Thanks again, catch you next time.